Hello! It's Wednesday, it's noon, and it's time for Hanging with the Hayters. Hello, this is Kay Hayter, and I'm here at Lone Star Radio, broadcasting on irlonestar.com. Internet.com. Thank you. Hello also to my husband,
Kay,
Mark.
I haven't seen you in about 3 minutes. You know something? We're broadcasting downtown in Conroe, and occasionally people will go by that we know, and that's always good when you see people. What we're doing today, though, is we don't have a guest. We were supposed to, Kay, have a guest. I had scheduled.
She'll be here.
She'll
next
be
week,
here.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Miss Edith Rutner, I believe her name is, 89-year-old comedian. I met her at the library. My name is Barry Ogletree. And I'm going to be your guide for today. That means nothing to you, but it is a story I'll get to at some point.
It's a family joke.
It is a family joke. But I met her. I was talking to the Friends of the Library, and there are many, many Friends of the Library, ladies and gentlemen. And this lady came up and handed me a card, and it was Edith Ratner. I believe that's her name. Anyway, I've talked to her since, and she couldn't make it today. She let me know, and she will be with us next week. We hope. Right now, though, we've got so much stuff. Kay, and my purpose today is to teach you so many things, give you an opportunity to know things you didn't. And the way to do that is for us to find out stuff we didn't know. And I have found out some stuff that I think you need to know about.
Well, that's great. I love to learn new stuff.
I know, but Kay, you already know so many things. By the way, if you ever have trouble with respect to what pill to take or anything, just call the house. Kay, that girl knows everything. I was talking to Dennis last night. That's my brother. And he's having trouble sleeping, Kay. And he's got a pain pill, but it doesn't work for sleeping. So he asked me what medication, and I said Tylenol PM because I took it once and it was good. And he said, well, what is it, Nolan? And I said, well, let me go get Kay. And you were on the phone with somebody else, and I couldn't get him. So I may have killed my brother. I don't know, but I'll call him today to see if he took some. Yeah,
well, he probably shouldn't be mixing it with his other pain meds.
That's true. I would guess. Kay, so much stuff to promote. People have died just this year.
Really?
So many of them. Here it is, the 20th, I think. Yeah, January 20th. And they've got a whole list that have died since the start of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about Glenn Fry, for one. He's the most recent, the Eagles guitar player and singer.
I'd never heard of him.
Get out of your cities. Your brother, Tracy's going to really be upset. Glenn Fry also was the one that did a song for Miami Vice. It was something about the Pusher. Oh. Anyway, that was really good.
I like the Miami Vice music.
Celine Dion's husband, what was his name?
I heard about that.
No,
That's
he
so
died.
sad.
He was a lot older than her.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, and her brother has got cancer. He's in bad shape. David Bowie? I didn't follow him that much.
I've heard of him. Yeah. I liked his music, but...
Yeah, I liked a lot of it.
Yeah.
When I think of him, I often get mixed up with Sting. But he's nothing like Sting.
No,
and Sting
not
sings
at
that Roxanne song that just drives me right up the wall. But anyway, Sting's still around. David Bowie is not. Dan Haggerty, Kay? The Grizzly Adams?
Oh, Grizzly Adams. Yeah.
Kay really loved Grizzly Adams. And that's a lie. I didn't either.
I might have watched it once or
Kay,
twice.
one of the saddest ones here is Alan Rickman, to me.
Yes. I really liked him ever since Quigley Down Under.
Quigley Down Under. Kay, one of the greatest lines in the history of moviedom that not many people will appreciate, and I thought they were going to show it on the news when they were talking about Rickman. It's when he's getting ready to have the gunfight with Quigley, and there's Rickman standing out there in the wide open place of
the corral.
In the corral area, and he says, "Some men were born in the wrong century. I was born on the wrong continent." And I don't know why that was just the way he delivered it so much better than me.
There's a lot of good quotes out of Quigley Down Under.
Anyway, we got so many. And Pat Harrington, one day at a time, he was a guy that maintained the...
I hate to say it, but he's one of those people that, I hadn't heard of him in so long. I didn't know he was still alive.
Same here. There are so many
sorry about
people
that.
who die that I don't realize they're not already dead, so it doesn't surprise me as much. Kate, we have so many things. Also, I wanted us to talk about the best picks of Montgomery County. It's here in the Conroe Courier. And if you ever listen to, and I'm sure you do out there, Cindy Cochran's show, I'm sure she goes over these things. But I was looking at them, and I'm trying to promote people to vote on these. This list is in the Courier every day, and it may be in the Villager.
And it's to vote on things like your favorite restaurant or where your kids are in daycare, your favorite place you like to go shopping for furniture or get groceries or get jewelry, that kind of thing. And you don't really have to take the Courier to vote. You can go to yourconroenews.com and you can vote online.
Wow. I remember, I don't know if it was last year before last, I was over at Gullo with Cindy. And I mentioned this, and one of the Gullo brothers said, "Oh, yeah, by the way, here," and he had a whole stack of them run off to say, "Yeah, here's the voting thing if you want to vote." And, of course, one of the deals in here is the best car dealership. There are so many around here. Kate, there are some things, though, that the best shooting range has not society changed a great deal. Who would have thought, let's put shooting range in there?
Well, there are several around us, and on weekends, the parking lot's packed. So
there are 3 to 4 around us. Mm-hmm. You can hear Saturdays, pow, pow. And when it gets close to deer season, it's like incoming. There are a lot of people.
Well, I guess we're used to it. We're used to it. So
best bank. With respect to banks, ladies and gentlemen, I care about 2 things. One is the ATM always crowded or not? Can I get money out or put money in? The other thing is, can I bank online? You got those 2 things. I don't care about the bank other than those 2 things.
I think most banks have got online banking.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And I've been with a bank that does have it, and it is the most complicated thing that everything's separate, and it's kind of scary.
Oh, it's hard to maneuver.
After saying that, I would like to be in a bank that it is possible to fail. You got one of these that is possible to fail. It's impossible for Bank of America to fail or whatever.
The Big Ten.
Regardless, if it fails, you're not going to lose your money.
A local bank.
Yeah. Anyway, a lot of stuff in there. One thing that is missing, I believe, if I'm not, nope, there it is. Best funeral home. Still, I don't know. Okay, the results are not in yet. I don't know the best funeral home exactly. I'm thinking of being cremated, and I hear about this Neptune outfit, but I don't. It sounds.
All right, and they say voting stops on January the 30th. So.
Yeah, for the best funeral and everything.
Yep.
It even costs a lot of money to get cremated nowadays. An urn and a oven. And,
did I tell you the Neptune Society lady called you the other
You did.
day?
And, I'd spoken to her once before, and I thanked her after she told me how much it was. A piece, Kay. I was thinking, hey, can we get I'm sorry, folks, can we get a better deal if we, die at the same time? I don't know, Kay. Anyway, fascinating. So that's one thing you got to do. Once again, Conroe Courier, find out and vote for these things. Best doctor, best barbecue in town, best hamburger. You told me something, Kay, about Burger Fresh that I have trouble believing, but you said you read it.
Yeah, it was in the Courier.
Obviously,
it's
got to be true.
The Courier every morning.
Right.
Well, Burger Fresh is celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they interviewed the current owner, and he said they have endless, whatever they serve is endless. If you need more French fries, you just go up and tell them you need more French fries, more onion rings. If you need more of a milkshake. I had no clue, and we've been to Burger Fresh plenty of times.
How can they do that? You and even said,
and they have great burgers.
Another burger, if you wanted another burger.
That's what he said. Now, I'm not so sure we need to broadcast this
it's already done,
the
Kay.
poor man will be out of business.
It's done and done. But you said you read it, so folks, if it's not true, it's Regina K. Hayter. And but, of course, if you sue her, you're hitting me also, so please don't do that. Anyway, those are some of the news items we have here, and we'll get to the science in a little bit. Kate, what Kay and I do of a morning is I usually get up before you. Do I not, Kay?
Most of the time.
I take care of reading and doing all kinds of stuff.
And he usually goes to bed later than I do, too.
Something is wrong with me.
I don't know. Once I go to sleep, I like to sleep.
I think I need to call Dennis and see if the Tylenol PM is working.
Okay.
Anyway, it's because I start watching TV and there's so many interesting shows now. Dennis will not get any of these cable things because he said, I've got too much to watch as it is. And I said, hey, I'm a better man than that, Dennis. I can watch stuff or I can not watch stuff. I do not let TV, dominate my life. I'm not obsessed. Hokey smokes.
Is that right?
I'll start a movie at 10:30, Kay.
I know. I know. I was
going to
say I'm going to duck for lightning here.
Yeah. If you really want to hurt your husband, and, there are times when I realize that could happen. When I come into the bedroom at night, it is darker than dark, but I know the path. I just go right through here. You stick something there in the pathway, Kay, you could hurt your husband.
Did I do that?
Really bad. No, you haven't. But what I'm saying is,
Good.
you could. Dateline, they'd never say, hey, man, he shouldn't have been walking in the dark. But and when you do call 911 when I'm dead, just cry like you really mean it, and I think you'll get off.
You've been watching too many of those Dateline
That's another
things.
thing I watch too much of. Anyway, that is there. I've got a review that I would like to give you, but I think I'll wait on that.
You don't want to talk about The Revenant right now?
Oh, gosh.
I'd like to go to the show by yourself?
I'll mention the start of it because we're going to have to take a break in a minute. But Revenant is that show that whoever named it, it just went ape. I want to name it something that people can't remember. And Revenant is it. I went in, I said, hey, I'd like to take it to Revenant. And the guy didn't say anything. Okay. I mean, I'm sure he's heard all kinds of things. Reservation, yeah, that's it. And it means, by the way, someone who comes back from the dead or who returns from a long stay away from somewhere.
Okay.
So in this case, DiCaprio, and I usually mispronounce his name, but I won't this time, is the retinant. He's retinant because he comes back from the dead. And when we come back from this break, I am going to tell you about the most awesome bear fight of a man I have ever seen. It was realistic, but right now you are listening to Hanging with the Hayters on irlonestar.com, and we will be back in a minute.
Break time, people. Restrooms are in the foyer. Back in a couple of minutes with more Hanging with the Hayters.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Hayters on irlonestar.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And the tease before you left was involved a bear fight. Those of you who saw Revenant?
Yes, the Revenant.
I'm sorry, folks. Revenant, when they had the bear thing, I thought it was going to be something Grizzly Adam. You got a tame bear out there, and he hugs on the guy, and the guy is screaming and acting like, oh, he's killing me, he's killing me. And it looks fake as all get out, because if you get the bear too mad, and he doesn't know the actor, he could hurt the actor.
Yes.
And I know there are stand-ins.
I wouldn't want to do that.
So what apparently they did in Revenant is is they
mean
got a guy
resilient?
one of the biggest guys I've ever seen in a bear outfit. You can see his back legs, somehow they're just kind of bent. And this guy, they've got the head of a bear, and he's got the teeth, and he's got slobber. And I know it's not a bear because a bear can't act that good. Plus, they show the mouth come down and rip, parts of DiCaprio's skin and all. And they're sitting there fighting. And
sitting there fighting?
I'm sorry, they're not sitting there, Kay. They're rolling in the hay. No, they're rolling all over the place. But eventually, it's because the two cubs are here, and I'm not giving this movie away, but all of a sudden the bear leaves him alone, and you think DiCaprio's dead, but he's grabbing a tomahawk or whatever he's got over there waiting for the bear to come back, and that dadgum bear comes back, and he, once again, fights him. It was a never-ending bear fight. And here's my gripe about the movie, Kay. And by the way, this is a movie you don't like because of what? You don't go see them? Yeah.
Because it has a bear fight.
It has a bear
with
attack.
Flesh ripping.
Yeah, the flesh. Anyway, this movie, I tried to grasp the point of it. And apparently what the point is there's not one other than it's a story of a man who gets really mad at the actor Tom Hardy. And he wants to kill him. And the whole story is DiCaprio coming from one horrible thing. You'd think getting ripped up by a bear is enough. They bury him, and then in a very
shallow grave. And then he gets attacked. His horse goes over a cliff, and he has to spend the night in the horse. The horse is dead, and they have to spend the night inside. The horse goes over with him on it?
Oh, yeah. And hits a tree. The tree saved his... Anyway, folks, it is a lot. If you want to see a movie, and at the end of that thing... It was dead silence in the theater. And
okay.
I don't think, I didn't sense that people were saying, wow, what a good movie. It was just, wow, that
over.
Was something else.
I'm going home.
And I won't tell you if he lives or dies, but at the end, I really didn't care a great deal. Because I knew
you did come home and say you didn't care for the movie.
Kay, did you used to watch Death Valley Days when you were a kid?
Yes.
Wasn't that very straight-laced and boring, and just about everyone was about the desert? 20 Mule Borax.
Yeah.
They had one episode about this very guy, and since it was on Death Valley Days, it's true. The guy was...
So this is based on a true story?
Based on a true story.
Okay.
A guy who was really damaged big time by a bear, and his friends, he was so mutilated, they didn't bury him. They didn't think he was dead, but they realized this. We can't carry you. It will kill you if we carry you out of this place. We're going to have to leave you here, and... we're not going to shoot you or anything.
Around while he died, huh?
No, they left because,
bad.
the winter's coming and he's going to die anyway, and we've got to get back. And, there are Indians in the area. They left, and the whole deal was the guy did survive, but he wasn't coming back for vengeance. He actually understood why they left him there. And, when he finally went in there, people, oh, my gosh, I can't believe.
What a nice guy.
DiCaprio, boy, he was upset. And he had reason to be because of Tom Hardy, great actor.
So it was basically a revenge movie?
Oh, it was not basically. It was out-and-out revenge, Kay. By the way, I did see Kay last night. I came in late last night because I ran into something that has to do with a TV program that is all trailers, which means... in this case, previews. I call them previews. People in the movie business call them trailers because they come at the beginning of movies, and as you know, trailers come at the end of the truck. And exactly. So they just call them that because it'll be confusing.
That.
Okay, I got to tell you this, and our listeners, because I know they're waiting with what you call your proverbial bated breath. There is a Tarzan movie coming out that is... wow.
Really?
It is. This is a fast Tarzan, and the gorillas look really good. And
is it animated, or is it?
No. Oh, I'm sure it's all, it is. I'm not only sure, I'm not only sure, I do know it's computer enhanced out the wazoo. Because this guy's swinging through trees like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Friends with the gorillas, and he does get in one fight with one big gorilla once, though. But I saw it, and one thing they didn't do is you never got a clear shot of the face of Tarzan. You got a shot of all the actors and Jane and all of this, but who was Tarzan? I don't know. That's one. Huh. The Huntsman is coming. I know y'all may have seen the previews of that or the trailer of that. That is supernatural. It's got that what's her name, that model girl, Theron.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Kay knows the names of people.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's something. And, of course, they've got Captain America coming, and he's in a war. It's called Civil War, the Avengers. He's in a war with, what's his name, the Iron Man.
Oh.
I don't know why you should be mad at the Iron Man,
Well, I
Kay.
don't know if I want to go see that.
Fascinating.
Because I like Iron Man and I like Captain America.
Gods of Egypt. Once again, Kay, it's a computer-enhanced, it's a thing I really like, though, how they're, destroying pyramids and doing stuff. It's really great.
Okay, I got to see that trailer before I decide.
Also, there was one movie called Risen that I was shocked to death, and it's about when the Roman soldier who was in charge of making sure Christ did not come out of that, nobody stole his body.
Oh.
And he's definitely, hates Christians and all of this, and it shows his life all the way through. And then whenever they find he had it sealed and everything. The movie's about searching for Jesus because we know he's alive somewhere. It was interesting.
Okay. When's that coming out, do you know?
I don't, most of these are coming out in the summer. Most of them are.
I
Trek
like summer.
Beyond, Kay. Oh, my gosh, another one. It's really good. Same guys playing
Chris Pine.
Spock. Chris Pine.
Oh, no, he plays Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Independence 2 is coming out. They're bigger and better and tougher than ever before. And the worst thing I saw was Alice Through the Looking Glass is coming out with Johnny Depp playing
Another one?
Mad Hatter. Oh, my word, Johnny Depp,
I think
please.
they've done
just
Alice too many times already. Let's
Okay,
give it
there's no
let's give it a
question
break for a
about that.
while.
Anyway, those are the movies that are coming out in the not-too-distant future.
Mark and I, we have quite a few shows, I guess, that we both like that we'll tape and we'll watch them together. But Mark is always looking around for something new, and most of the time he'll come in and say, "You need to see this show. It's about so-and-so," and it's something that I'm totally not interested in. But the other night he came in, he'd found something on Netflix called The Detectorist, and it's British. It's about these two British guys who like to go metal detecting. So I said, well, I'll give it a go. Anyway, it's a
Isn't it sweet,
really
Kay?
cute show.
It is so sweet.
And, of course, it's British, so it's,
Yeah.
kind of low key, but it's very humorous.
It's in Essex, and I like it. Who would have thought? Let's have I wouldn't call it a sitcom, even though it is a comedy. You're not laughing out loud, but about metal detectors. And, what are they looking for? What do they get? That is very interesting. Plus, it's in Essex.
Yeah.
But, Kay, here's one thing that Netflix and Amazon does. We saw the 6 episodes of episode 1. And, oh, man, I liked it. I said, just 6 episodes, I can't have it. And all of a sudden, I clicked, and there's season 2. 6 episodes.
Very cool.
But
Yeah.
I got to buy them. The whole thing cost $10 for
the whole
the 6th
season?
episode, which, I could go to the movie and...
Spend $30.
yeah, and so I might as well get it. But it's so interesting, I think I may. That's one of those deals. Anyway, it was real good. They find historic things. And
in Britain, it's not uncommon for somebody to be plowing a field and come up with a Roman coin or something, and they've even found caches of, where somebody buried their jewelry and their coins. I don't, why, but they've had some pretty good finds for that kind of thing. Wouldn't that be exciting?
that would be. In fact, they found something in the detectorist in this guy's farmer's field, and they pretty much shut his farm down because they had to dig it.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff, Kay. But I think there's one thing even more fascinating that we saw in the news, and we were talking about this. 2 things exactly. One was I didn't talk a great deal about it because it just didn't, it sounded weird. It's about transgendered fish. Kay, in New England, what they're finding in their streams and lakes are male bass. You can tell a male bass by... I have no idea how you can tell a male bass. It's probably by a stripe or something.
Look that up.
Or his
People
mouth.
want to know.
The sneer on his face, the grin, whatever he's got. And trout, that they catch them, they gut them, and son of gun, they got eggs. Eggs in their
So they got male and female birds.
Male and female. Eggs in their testes, what you call. I've never seen, or if I did, I never recognized a fish's testes. But this is kind of unusual because there are creatures that have both male and female organ type things. I can't name one right now. But
this is not
This is not one of those.
Way.
This isn't supposed to be this way, and they think it might be runoff from fertilizers, pesticides, or something. It's kind of like Simpsons when they have that fish with the
nuclear reactor.
But that is really weird. And
I think they found some odd stuff with frogs and other
they have
amphibians.
I don't like those shows.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say this about the transgendered fish. There are transgendered people, and I don't think they were born and said, wow, I want to be transgendered. I would like to be, I'm a female, and I really think I should be a male, or I want to be a male. And there are people that if you check the DNA, they have, even though it's a male, female chromosomes and characteristics. Okay. What I'm trying to get at here is I don't believe it has anything to do with the person waking up and saying, I would like to be weird and do this. I think it's genetic. So I have trouble judging people, be they gay or whatever. I know what the Bible says and all, but I worry about someone. I don't think anybody wakes up and says, wow. I don't think these bass woke up and said, I'd like to have some eggs. Stuff happens in your brain and the chemical reaction and all in your brain. I was reading this person this morning. In fact, it's in the Courier's quote of the
We
thought
read
for
the
the
Courier
day.
every morning.
We do, Kay. And by the way, I happen to be in the trend section of the Courier Sunday mornings, and in the Villager tomorrow. There will be an article
Mark
about
has been writing his
coffee.
Column for, 30-something
35 years,
35
Kay.
years.
Please.
And he still has stuff to say. It's pretty amazing. I don't know how he does it.
And people say it's easy. He's a horrible writer. Anyway. But here's the thought for the day that I think applies to transgendered. I don't understand it. Folks, word be said, I don't understand sex. Okay, let's don't get into that. But who can understand these things? I don't. Homosexuality, most of us say, how can anyone ever? Well, I don't like to tempt fate or God and say, how on earth can and God will say, let me show you something, how on earth that could happen. Listen to this quote. It's from Letitia Landon, an English poet who was very young, 36, died at 36, 1802 to 1838, and she said this, whatever people in general do not understand, they are always prepared to dislike. The incomprehensible is always the obnoxious. That is a quote that many people would not get along with, but I also have one more quote. We're going to leave this whole transgendered thing, Kay.
Okay, I'm ready.
It is that the gift of wisdom is to know how to be reverent with what you do not understand. I may not like something, but do I understand it? I don't understand it. And so do I have the right to say I cannot see how anybody could? Right now I can see how someone should have the right to have a commercial because it's about our time. In fact, Dick's got some stuff to tell us about the weather, too, and I'm interested in knowing this.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, Hanging with the Hayters on irlonestar.com in downtown Houston.
Break time, people. Restrooms are in the foyer. Back in a couple of minutes with more Hanging with the Hayters.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. Through our Operation School Bell program, we have provided new clothes to over 50,000 students in our county. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe, or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio here at irlonestar.com. I hope you guys are enjoying with Hanging with the Hayters. They're on every Wednesday at noon here on irlonestar.com with podcasts and YouTube's available after. Just make sure to like them on Facebook with Hanging with the Hayters, and they'll let you know when those are ready. It is bottom of the hour here on Lone Star Internet Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station, and we're going to do traffic and weather for this area. Right now, there's a slight overcast around Montgomery County, and it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity around 58%. This afternoon, it's going to be partly sunny with a high of 63, and we're expecting isolated showers, then scattered showers and thunderstorms after midnight tonight. But it'll be mostly cloudy in the late afternoon with a low around 54. Traffic report in the Montgomery County area. We should start with I-45 northbound. You're going to run into some issues in the Woodlands. Right after Rayford Sawdust, there's been an accident been reported. So right there, it's northbound, right before Oak Ridge North. Further north at 242, there's been an incident reported northbound. Other than that, when you get past that area, you're good to go all the way through Conroe, through New Waverly southbound, not reporting any issues. Zero issues on 242. And also 105 and 1488, you're good to go. It is 12:34. We're going to get back to the commercial break right before Hanging with the Hayters. So stick around here on irlonestar.com.
Hi, this is BJ Orner from Montgomery County Performing Arts Society. I'm here to remind you to get your tickets now for all the upcoming events that McPass has to offer. All shows will be held at the beautiful Crichton Theater in downtown Conroe. Call 936-441-7469 for your tickets today, or go to our website, www.macpass.org, for more information. Hope to see you at the show.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Hayters on irlonestar.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're Hanging with the Hayters, irlonestar.com, and I would like to thank, you probably didn't recognize he had a call. That was Morgan Freeman, ladies and gentlemen. I had no idea, but once again, it cost big bucks to get that man.
We're just good he didn't have to cough.
Oh, man, no kidding. That. By the way, we are, that is going to be all the time we have for science, even though I've got one of the biggest stories in the history of mankind that I'll have to save for next week. But right now, Kay, is the time we're going to, excuse me, folks, talk about some things that happen in our house, the family kind of situations.
The joys of home ownership.
The joys of home ownership.
Yeah.
And Kay, it's a pain in the rear sometimes.
Yeah, we've lived in our home over 20 years, and of course we've accumulated plenty of our own stuff, but during the time we've been there, we've lost both of our mothers, and
we think they're in one of the closets, but no, she means they passed.
They did.
Elsie would have appreciated that, and I know your mom would have too.
It's been a while.
A little humor.
Anyway, we got things that belong to them, and you know, some of them have really good sentimental value. Other things were like, well, you know, this is worth something, and so we kind of added their stuff on top of our stuff, and it's been 10 years now since my mother's passed, and there's some stuff that she's got that it's just been sitting there collecting dust, and I don't have space for it. Doesn't go with the decor, and so I guess you get to the point where you just are ready to let it go to somebody who hopefully is going to love and enjoy it, maybe as much as your mom did. But it's funny, it's kind of the things that are not worth a whole lot that hold the most sentimental value.
Yeah, that's true. So, and the things that are worth a lot or that cost us a lot, we generally give them away to family, and that's, hand me down. I don't think Jill has ever bought a couch of her own. He always gets ours. But
I think
we
she's
get
had
her
3 of ours.
Right.
We can't seem to find. I think we were happy with the sofa we've got, but we went through like 3 in a pretty short period of time because we'd get them home and they just didn't quite do what we wanted them to.
Kay and I are in a not a strange situation. I know there's several of you out there like this, but we have no children, and yet we have siblings. She's got 2 brothers, and I've got 6 brothers and sisters, but one has died, Linda, several years ago. So there are 5 of them. Each one of these, when they pass, will give their possessions to their children because they have children. They're not giving anything to Kay or I, nor should they. That would be silly.
Please don't.
But, Kay, I would take some monetary, anyway. But when Kay and I pass, we're going to have to dole our stuff out, or we will. It's one of those things where, if I don't give Big Al something, what the heck? They didn't give me something? They gave you something? I mean, that's what you're going to have. Which nephews, if you divide it among everyone, they're not going to have enough to do anything with. But that's something you wrestle with. And you were talking about, I've got a toolbox from my grandpa Hayter, Ed Hayter in Oklahoma. Anyway, this must have been built around 1900. It's now a flimsy toolbox, but I got it, and I couldn't get anything for it. But who do I give it to? Who would appreciate it? Give it to one of my brothers. They'll be dead 2 weeks after me. I'm sorry, folks. That's not true. I could die today, couldn't I, Kay?
Well, there are no guarantees.
We are going to have to specify who gets what.
We do.
And I'm not looking forward to it.
We do.
Probably have to give Dick some stuff. Probably need to anyway. But anyway,
we'll put you in the wheel.
Yeah. Kate, one of the big things, talking about living in a house and how you're responsible, we had a leak, and we may still, I hope not.
On the roof around the fireplace.
It's on the second story part. We have a story and a half. Part of the house is on one level, but part of it's on 2.
On piers.
The one that's on the highest level had a leak apparently around the chimney, and I got the roof guy out to tell me where he thought it was. And it was... he said, he works for a big roofing company, and I said, well, you're saying I need to caulk here and here. Could you do it? You work on roofs. And he said, well, let me tell you this. This is going to cost you a lot of money if I do it. And I said, okay, what are you talking about? And he said, probably around $400, $500. And I said, I think I can do it myself. And what he was doing is saying, I am in a roofing company, but this is small potatoes. We usually refinish roofs, and it would be best if, you could save yourself some money to do it. Kay, I did it, as you know.
Yes.
2 days up there, 2 half days, and how many of y'all, raise your hands if you've ever taken caulk off of anything, a roof or something? Dick has, Kay never has. This
not much
was
fun.
the toughest stuff I ever... And I'm on a roof, Kay, and as you know, and I'm balancing in it's a metal roof, and my feet keep slipping out from under me, and I'm trying to get this. It was dangerous. And then I caulked.
I came out and checked on you like every
she really
15
did.
minutes. Yeah.
And I would say, go get me something, and how am I going to give it to you?
I almost hated to go out there because I knew you
knew it
need
was going
something.
to be bad. But anyway, it was slippery as owl stuff.
And I'm still finding chunks of caulk in the yard.
Oh, yeah.
He thought he picked them all up, but no.
It was terrible. But anyway, that's one of the things you have to wrestle with a house.
And you did ruin a pair of shorts.
Oh, I did, yeah.
They're soaking, but I don't know that caulk's coming out.
How many of you have, once again, a show of hands, I can see some of you, get ready. How many of you, when you apply the caulk, it goes on pretty smoothly and all? The guy was telling me, what you do, Mark, this is super caulk, and it's expensive that you're going to have to buy. Wet your finger and move it across, these metal edges, and smooth it out. And it didn't matter. There's no smooth to it. It looks terrible.
But when I read the label, it said, don't get it on your bare skin. So.
Well, that just stinks. I did bring those surgical gloves that I have for doing surgical stuff.
Good. That's good.
That's how I rend a chicken.
I thought you used your shorts, to do that.
Well, it looks like it.
So,
anyway, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kay, that was just one of those situations.
I'm glad that's over, but it hadn't rained yet, so we'll see.
It hasn't.
We'll see.
Kay, I know this is shooting all over the place, but I would like to share with our listeners, if it's okay, one of the most important inventions I have ever seen.
Okay. Wow. I don't know what that is.
It is. I was on the computer looking at, you're somehow or other involved in Pinterest.
Pinterest, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pinterest.
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
I don't know that I understand it, but people pin photographs and stuff, and you can go on there and you can find ideas for just about everything, like ideas to decorate for a baby shower or how to make a piece of art for your garden or
I was
something.
Looking at Dick's expression, and I got a feeling it's been around a long time, and we're one of the two people that don't know much about it. But here's what I saw when I went there. My thought was, what is it, and why is Kay involved? And all of a sudden, I looked at it. I said, it's genius. You take a sandwich. It can be a cheese, ham and cheese, or whatever. You make it, you stick it in a bag, and you take the bag and the cheese and you put it in your toaster if it's big enough, which ours isn't wide enough, but we will buy one. And you put it in that bag and you toast it, and it comes out not grilled, but toasted. In other words, we used to make toasted cheese sandwiches, and I love grilled sandwiches, but I like toasted. And it actually gets the bread toasted.
So this is a special type of plastic bag
I'm assuming it's not plastic, but it's probably asbestos.
A bag, okay.
Yeah, and it gets asbestos in your food.
Yeah.
But
don't go sticking it in a Ziploc bag and doing this.
If you go to what you call your one of these sandwich places, why can't I think of Subway. Subway sandwich, they'll say, do you want it heated? Well, and they stick it in an oven. But all we have to do now, Kay, is get a toaster that can hold a sandwich and get the whole sandwich toasted. I'm going to have to get one of these. I don't know what they cost, but I think we deserve it.
Well, I'm sure we deserve it, but run the cost by me before you go ordering, okay?
Okay. One other thing, I think I need to save lives now.
Okay.
Let's do, it has to do with microwaving, and in this case I was microwaving milk because I hate cold coffee, so I'll pour the milk after it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't find my Tupperware thing, so I used a glass, and it was a thick glass, a short one-cup
drinking glasses.
In my
I knew there was one missing.
Oh, it's missing, Kay. I thought wow, it's thick enough. I think it will hold up under a microwave. I put it in. I microwaved it for 1 minute, and the milk was really hot by that time. And I took it out, and the top of it was actually warm enough for me to hold. I took it out, and all of a sudden, right at the half level, it came off like I had used a certain tool to, get it off. And it fell on the ground and just shattered milk and everything. And so I learned you need to be careful about that, Kay. From now on, microwave safe
dishes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I found out from that, and it took me a long time to get that cleaned up. It was terrible. But that and one other thing I'm going to share with you about the microwave, and Kay, it has to do with if you're microwaving something in any container where the top is smaller than the bottom.
Okay.
The bottom is going to build up pressure, and if you're thinking spewing out, it will. And there are people who've really got burned. Keep in mind, whatever you're doing, I'm not saying they all will, but if you've got a jar or whatever, a receptacle, that the bottom is wide,
Wider.
It's wide at the bottom, it's narrow at the top. When that bottom gets hot, it's going to try to get out of there because heat rises. Steam will come out, and in some cases it will boil over and hurt you. Okay, if I've saved just one person, it's going to be worthwhile. And you know something, when we come back in a minute, we're going to have a story and a joke here on Hanging with the Hayters.
I love stories.
www.ourlonestar.com. Back in a minute.
Break time, people. Restrooms are in the foyer. Back in a couple of minutes with more Hanging with the Hayters.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Hayters on irlonestar.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hanging with the Hayters, a particular show that Mark Hayter pretty well monopolized today. Just shoved Kay all around the place.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I do have a story for you, and you know, the first story we told, this is just our third episode, was the first one was a joke that a gentleman came in here and told. There was about three ducks and all.
I'll never forget the duck story.
Last one was a true story that involved me singing a song I didn't want to sing in front of the people. And you can, by the way, go on YouTube. You can go on Facebook. You can go to this station and find the archives of those shows. And but what I did with this story was something different. I ran across something that has been in a folder of mine for a good while. I was cleaning something out, and I said, son of gun, I remember that story, and I like it, and some of you may have read it. But it has to do with a little bit of history and a little bit of science. And here is the story, if you don't mind. And this is a true story. I'm not making this stuff up. By the way, I say it's true. I haven't vetted it, but I've heard it several times. I'm thinking if it was a lie,
well,
somebody would have told
it. Must be true.
Oh, yeah, internet, yeah. Anyway, here goes the story. I'm reading it to you. His name was Fleming, and he was a poor Scottish farmer. One day, while trying to make a living for his family, he heard a cry for help coming from a nearby bog. He dropped his tools, ran to the bog. There, mired to his waist in black muck, was a terrified boy screaming and struggling to free himself. Farmer Fleming saved the lad from what could have been a slow and terrifying death. The next day, a fancy carriage pulled up to the Scotsman's sparse surroundings. An elegantly dressed nobleman stepped out and introduced himself as the father of the boy Farmer Fleming had saved the day before. And he said, I want to repay you, said the nobleman. You saved my son's life. And Fleming said, no, I can't accept the payment for what I did. And he just waved off the offer and, no problem. And at that moment, the father's son came to the door of the family hovel. Is that your son? The nobleman asked. Yes, the farmer replied proudly. I'll make you a deal, the nobleman said. Let me provide him with the level of education my son will enjoy. If the lad is anything like his father, he'll no doubt grow to be a man we both will be proud of, the farmer consented. Farmer Fleming's son attended the very best schools, and in time he graduated from St. Mary's Hospital Medical School in London and went on to become known throughout the world as the noted Sir Alexander Fleming, the discoverer of penicillin. That is part of the story, but listen to this. Years afterward, the son of that same nobleman who Fleming saved from the bog, he got pneumonia. And he was near death, but what saved his life was penicillin.
Penicillin, wow.
The name of the nobleman was Lord Randolph Churchill. His son's name was Sir Winston Churchill.
Goodness gracious, how about that?
That is, and someone said after this, you've heard the thing, dance like no one's watching. Someone once said, work like you don't need the money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like nobody's watching. And, of course, Kenny Rogers said you also need to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Know when to fold them.
We've got that. And, anyway, that is one of those things, folks, you never know when you meet somebody or little things where it's going from there. And I've got another quote I'm going to read you before our joke. This is something a guy by the name of Cameron Lawrence said, and I have never met the man. I'm thinking it was years ago. Anyway, he said, life in all its immensity brings us together with others who have lives of immensity. They've got history, hopes, fears, desires, loved ones. And we add to who we are with each meeting. They're coming with all of their history and all they know. We're coming. There's no one else who has ever been there at that exact moment before. And with each meeting, we share one another in whatever we're doing in some way. And then we go our separate ways. But when we go our separate ways, we are still connected. You know, I don't care if you are just apathetic, you don't even notice the person or whatever. You are leaving that person with something. One is you've lost an opportunity to maybe lift his spirits with a smile or something, you or her. Or maybe you're apathetic, but maybe you just said something that will change, you know, like the butterflies. I never understood that analogy about the butterfly's wings causing a hurricane somewhere, but it can have an effect. Anyway, fascinating story. It'll help us.
A smile at somebody else doesn't cost you a thing and might
and
be the best thing in their day.
If you make a comment to the person who maybe at that time they're feeling, I am so useless, nobody notices me or anything, and all of a sudden you notice. Anyway, that's great.
Yeah.
But that's not the joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, honey. That was a good story.
Thank you so much, Kay, darling. There was this joke involves a snowman. You don't hear many snowman jokes, but this snowman went into a bar. It was a pub, actually, Kay. Anyway, the snowman comes in and he sits down, and the bartender says, okay, what can I get you? Want to hit whiskey or beer? And the snowman says, are you out of your mind? I'm a snowman. Alcohol lowers the freezing point of ice, so what it's going to do to me is make me start melting if I drink alcohol. Are you out of your mind, bartender? And he said, man, I'm sorry. I don't need you to be a puddle in the bar, so no, you'll have a drink. Well, what do you want? He said, this is a pub. I would like a sandwich. I would like a Reuben sandwich with potato salad. And the bartender said, how about a hamburger with French fries? The snowman said, okay, that'll do too. Made him a hamburger with French fries. It was delicious. The snowman sitting there eating it, and oh man, it was delicious. And the the bartender comes up and says, wow, would you like some dessert? And snowman says, what have you got? He said, well, we've got pie and cake. And the snowman says, I think I'll have the cake because I had bad experience with the pie before. He says, okay, you want coffee with that? And the snowman looked at him bad, and the bartender said, hey, I'm just joking about the coffee. Okay, so he comes back, delivers him a cake with a fork, and the snowman takes one bite of it and spits it out in his plate. He said, this is terrible. This is the worst cake I've ever had. It tastes like snot. What kind of cake is this? And the bartender said, it's carrot cake.
Oh.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but that was a joke I ran across, and I thought I would share it. A week to
forget that one.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hanging with a Hayter show with my darling Kay and Mark Hayter. By the way, if you're in the Woodlands, please read my article tomorrow in the Woodlands Villager. And this Sunday, you will see something in the trends, and I don't even know what it's going to be yet.
Yeah, we don't. He hadn't written it yet, so.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening, and we will be back next week, hopefully with Edith Ratner, the comedian, 89 years old. Thank you all so much.
Bye, y'all.